Emperor Adrian Blackwood sat in his grand royal chamber on a magnificent and intricately designed golden throne. His hand rested on his cheek, and his gaze was fixed on the empty wall before him. His face bore an expression of deep seriousness, and the shadows of profound thoughts flickered in his eyes. It seemed as though he was lost in an ocean of deep contemplation. At that very moment, a shimmer of light flashed, and beside him appeared his wife, Queen Morgana Magic. Queen Morgana Magic greets Emperor Adrian Blackwood with a morning salutation, she said with utmost respect. However, Adrian did not respond to her greeting. He was so absorbed in his thoughts that he neither noticed her arrival nor heard her voice. "Emperor Adrian," Queen Morgana said in a surprised tone, seeing his silence. Yet his demeanor remained unchanged. He was still deeply lost in thought. What is happening this early in the morning? What thoughts have taken over Emperor Adrian so completely? She wondered. Stepping forward, she positioned herself directly in front of him, yet he remained motionless, as if his body was present, but his soul had wandered elsewhere. He was so deeply engrossed that he didn't even notice his queen standing right before him. Seeing his stillness, a wave of concern spread across her face. "Oh, what has happened to Emperor Adrian? Emperor Adrian," she finally called out in an urgent tone. Startled, Adrian snapped out of his trance and looked at her with wide eyes. "Oh, Queen Morgana. When did you arrive?" he asked, taking a deep breath. "What do you mean? You did not notice my arrival. And my greeting?" she asked, surprised. "A greeting? What greeting?" Adrian questioned, confused. "I must have been so deeply lost in thought that I neither heard your voice nor noticed your presence. Nevertheless, I now acknowledge your greeting," he said, sighing. "But what thoughts have consumed you so deeply?" Queen Morgana asked, her voice laced with curiosity. "It's nothing. Please have a seat," Adrian said, trying to dismiss the topic. She studied him for a moment before sitting on her own designated throne beside him. "What is the matter, Emperor? What were you thinking about that made you so lost, so troubled that you did not even hear me?" she pressed. "It is nothing of great importance," Adrian replied evasively. "No, Emperor, something is certainly bothering you. You can try to hide it, but I can clearly see worry and distress on your face," she insisted. Adrian let out a faint, weary smile, but it was a smile filled with sorrow. "What can I say, Queen? I am tired of this never-ending war with Lord Amir Hamza and his army. No matter how many times we have launched an attack, we have suffered the greatest losses. Their forces have slain countless of our sorcerers and enchantresses. Each time we face defeat, and our army retreats in fear. Again and again, we have had to halt our offensives because of our continued failure. This cycle of our defeat and Lord Amir Hamza's victory has become a curse upon us. Not once have we been able to overpower him. Each time we are forced to retreat, while his forces push ever closer to the borders of the realm of Hoshruba. If this continues, the day is not far when he will march his army into our realm, and when that happens, there will be no more Hoshruba and no more us." Adrian sighed deeply, his voice filled with frustration and despair. "Yes, witnessing all this pains me as well. No matter how much I think, I cannot find a way for us to defeat Lord Amir Hamza and his forces. If only there was a way to ensure our victory, to celebrate our triumph for once," Queen Morgana lamented. "A victory celebration seems like a distant dream now," Adrian said bitterly. "Every time we go into battle, we send the most powerful sorcerers and enchantresses, yet Lord Amir Hamza and his warriors remain fearless. It is as if they are made of something otherworldly. Our strongest magicians falter before them, while his men charge forward as if they are not facing spellcasters, but mere mortals. Even our best warriors grow weak in their presence." "You are right," Morgana agreed. "Our constant defeats have only emboldened them. Their confidence grows with each battle they win. Seeing their relentless victories, even I have started to fear what might come next. Who knows when they might storm into our realm with their army and—" She stopped, not wanting to complete the thought. "If only our army had the Jinn among them," Adrian murmured suddenly. "If we had the Jinn fighting alongside us, our strength would increase 1,000-fold. Lord Amir Hamza's army may be able to fight magicians, But if they had to face the Jinn, their courage would shatter. They could never hope to match the might of the Jinn. It would be an ultimate and absolute victory for us. Hearing this, Queen Morgana's eyes widened in surprise. But how could we possibly recruit the Jinn into our army? With our magic, we can enslave a few rebellious Jinn, but an entire army of them. That seems impossible, my lord, she said, her voice filled with uncertainty. Have you ever heard of the Kalut Jinn clan? Adrian asked instead of answering her question. The Kalut Jinn clan, Morgana repeated, startled. They are the most powerful and undefeated Jinn in existence. They are beings upon whom no weapon of this world has any effect. They cannot be harmed, nor can they be killed by any means. Their lifespans stretch over thousands of years, and even then, they only perish through natural death. It is impossible to slay them by force, she explained. Adrian's lips curled into a faint, knowing smile. Yes, I am talking about the same Jinn clan, Emperor Adrian Blackwood said. So do you want the Kalut clan to join our army and fight against Lord Amir Hamza and his forces for us? Queen Morgana Magic asked in the same astonished tone. Yes. If that happens, then not only will we be able to defeat Lord Amir Hamza and his army, but with the help of these Jinn, we can conquer the armies of all the nations in the world and take control of everything, Emperor Adrian Blackwood replied. Oh, Shah, but how is that possible? Why would the Kalut Jinn clan support us, and why would they fight against Lord Amir Hamza and his army for our sake? Queen Morgana Magic asked. If we become the leader of this clan, then the entire clan will belong to us. All the Jinn of this clan will be under our command, and they will obey our every order without question, Emperor Adrian Blackwood said in a dreamy tone. Queen Morgana Magic took a deep breath and remained silent. She understood that the constant defeats had not only broken Emperor Adrian Blackwood, but had also left him so desperate that he had begun to entertain such unrealistic fantasies. How is that possible, my lord? How can those Jinn come under your control? And how can you become their leader and make them follow your orders? Queen Morgana Magic asked after a brief pause. It is all possible, my queen, Emperor Adrian Blackwood said with a smile, making Queen Morgana Magic even more startled. Possible? You mean to say that you can bring the Kalut clan's Jinn under your command and make them part of your army? Queen Morgana Magic asked in a surprised tone. Yes, Emperor Adrian Blackwood answered, increasing the astonishment on Queen Morgana Magic's face. But how, my lord? How can the Jinn of the Kalut clan become your servants? Queen Morgana Magic asked. Because of the royal crown, Emperor Adrian Blackwood said. The royal crown. What do you mean? What is this royal crown? Queen Morgana Magic asked. The leader of the Kalut Jinn clan, whose real name is Kalut, wears a crown. As long as this crown remains on his head, all the Jinn of the clan are bound to obey him. But if this crown is placed on someone else's head, then the Jinn will become that person's servants instead of Kalut Jinns. They will be compelled to obey whoever possesses the royal crown. If I get my hands on that crown, I will become the leader of the Jinn clan instead of Kalut. Then the entire clan will be bound by my command, and they will destroy Lord Amir Hamza's army in an instant, Emperor Adrian Blackwood explained. So is that crown currently on Kalut Jinn's head? Queen Morgana Magic asked. No, the royal crown is not on Kalut Jinn's head, Emperor Adrian Blackwood replied. Then where is it? Queen Morgana Magic asked. Since Kalut Jinn was the chief of a powerful Jinn clan and always wore the enchanted royal crown, he was stronger than all the other Jinn of his clan. He was a terrifying Jinn, feared not just by his own clan, but by Jinn from other clans as well. Kalut Jinn usually stayed with his clan, but sometimes he ventured out to explore the world. This time he had decided to visit the human world with his wife, Nashki, who was a fairy. To blend in, they had taken on human forms and roamed through human settlements all day. However, as night fell, they would leave the populated areas and head to a deserted mountainous region where they spent the night in a cave. It was crucial for them to reach this cave before sunset because as soon as the sun set, their human forms would vanish and they would return to their true appearances. They did not want any humans to see them in their real forms, so they were careful about time. As soon as the evening shadows began to stretch, they would make their way toward the desolate mountains. One day, while wandering, they went farther than expected, and before they could reach the mountains before sunset, night fell upon them. So they decided to spend the night in a jungle near a human settlement. There was an ancient, abandoned well in that jungle. They thought they would spend the night near the well and leave at dawn. The well was centuries old and deserted. Just as they reached the edge of the well, a crow suddenly came flying at great speed and collided with Kalut Jinn's head. The royal crown, which was on Kalut Jinn's head, was knocked off and fell into the well. Kalut Jinn was alarmed. He tried to jump into the well to retrieve the crown, but at that very moment an invisible force pushed him back, and he, along with his wife, was thrown to the ground. As he got up, he was stunned to see the well disappearing before his eyes. It vanished as if it had never existed in the first place. Kalut Jinn and Nashki searched for the well in the jungle for days, but it was nowhere to be found. Emperor Adrian Blackwood explained the details to Queen Morgana Magic. "Oh, then what happened?" Queen Morgana Magic asked. Kalut Jinn continued searching for the well with his wife, but to no avail. Since his entire strength was bound to the royal crown, the moment the crown fell into the well, his magical powers disappeared. Now, without the royal crown, he could not return to his clan. So he sent his wife, Nashki, back. She returned to the clan and brought some Jinn with her to help him. Eventually, Kalut Jinn returned to his clan with those Jinn. "Oh, that means he is no longer the chief of the clan since he doesn't have the royal crown," Queen Morgana Magic said. "No, that is not the case. He is still the chief of the clan. Since he did not remove the crown himself, but rather lost it due to an accident caused by a black bird, the clan has given him 1 year to retrieve it. If he finds the royal crown and places it back on his head within that time, he will remain the chief. Otherwise, he will be stripped of his position. Moreover, if anyone else finds the royal crown and places it on their head before him, the clan will remove Kalut from leadership and declare that person the new chief, whether they are a human, a Jinn, or even a giant," Emperor Adrian Blackwood explained. "I understand everything now, my lord, but there is still one thing that I do not understand," Queen Morgana Magic said. "Which matter?" Emperor Adrian Blackwood asked. "You mentioned that Kalut Jinn and his wife, Nashki, went near that well in the jungle to spend the night. While they were climbing onto the edge of the well, a fast-flying crow chief collided with Kalut's head, causing his royal crown to fall off and drop into the well. Kalut and his wife, on the other hand, fell to the other side of the well, and as soon as they fell, the well mysteriously disappeared." "How did this well vanish and why?" Queen Morgana Magic asked. "This well holds a special secret, my queen," Emperor Adrian Blackwood replied. "A special secret? What do you mean? What kind of secret can a well possibly have?" Queen Morgana Magic questioned. "This dark well is actually a gateway to an ancient realms," Emperor Adrian Blackwood said, making Queen Morgana Magic jump in shock. "A gateway to realms? What do you mean? Which realms is it, and who created it?" she asked. "This realms was created centuries ago by the sorcerer Samri. It is in realms so mysterious that no one has ever entered it, nor does anyone know anything about it. Samri the sorcerer died long ago, but the realms he created still exists, and the only way to enter it is through that very mysterious and dark well where Kalut Jinn's royal crown fell. Samri the sorcerer's realms can only be accessed through this well, which never stays in one place. It appears in different locations across the world and then disappears again. Sometimes it manifests in a jungle, only to vanish soon after. At other times it appears in a desert and then disappears from there as well. It might then emerge inside a cave in the mountains, or in the depths of a river or even the ocean. In short, the well does not remain in a fixed location. It constantly shifts, appearing and vanishing in different places. When Kalut Jinn and Nashki arrived in this jungle, the well happened to appear there at that time. They mistook it for an ordinary ancient well. They intended to spend the night near it, but before they could descend into it, Kalut's crown fell into the well due to the crow's collision, and they themselves fell outside of the well. If they had stepped into the well or fallen inside, they would have disappeared along with it and would have ended up inside Samri the sorcerer's realms, from which escape is impossible. Once, I had a conversation with Samri the sorcerer's spirit. He told me that the realms within the mysterious well are so fearsome and undefeatable that no force in the world can overcome them, not even the most powerful sorcerers, Jinn or spirits. Even Samurai, the sorcerer's own spirit, if it were to enter the realms, would never be able to return. And now, Kalut Jinn's royal crown has fallen into this well, meaning it has reached the depths of Samri, the sorcerer's realms. I am thinking of communicating with Samri, the sorcerer, and gathering information about these mysterious realms. Then I will enter them to retrieve Kalut Jinn's royal crown. If I obtain that crown, I will become the leader of Kalut Jinn's clan, and then everything will unfold according to my desires. Emperor Adrian Blackwood explained further, "Oh, do you think it will be easy for you to enter these realms? You yourself said that Samurai the sorcerer warned you that his realms are terrifying and undefeatable, that even his own spirit cannot return from them. Then how can you possibly destroy these realms and retrieve the royal crown?" Queen Morgana Magic asked. "I do not have complete knowledge about these realms, nor have I ever directly discussed them in detail with Samurai the sorcerer's spirit. But I must first find out what exactly lies within them. I am the Emperor of Sorcerers, the greatest sorcerer of all. In his time, Samurai the sorcerer was the most powerful sorcerer of his era, but now, in this era, I am greater than him. Perhaps these realms are not as terrifying as Samurai the sorcerer described them. If that is the case, then entering the well's realms won't be difficult for me. With my magical powers, I will break through these realms and return with the royal crown," Emperor Adrian Blackwood declared. "But why did Samurai the sorcerer create these realms in the first place? What is inside these realms? And you keep referring to them in the plural, which means there is more than one realms," Queen Morgana Magic asked. "Yes, there are multiple realms. I do not know exactly how many, but when I asked Samurai the sorcerer, he told me that he had amassed vast treasures greater and rarer than those of 100 kings of this era. During his time, many powerful and renowned sorcerers were after him, seeking to claim his treasures. To protect them, he hid them within these realms and created the mysterious well as the only gateway to them. This well does not stay in one place, but continuously vanishes and reappears in different locations. This process has continued for centuries and is still ongoing. No one knows when or where the mysterious well will appear next, nor how long it will remain before disappearing again. I have always been loyal to Samurai the sorcerer. His spirit favors me, and I do not wish to enter his realms for the sake of his treasures. I only seek the royal crown that accidentally fell inside. If I retrieve the crown, I will restore his realms to ensure his treasures remain forever protected. I am confident that Samurai the sorcerer's spirit will not oppose my request, and will tell me about the mysterious well and its realms," Emperor Adrian Blackwood said. "So, have you met with Samurai the sorcerer's spirit to discuss this yet?" Queen Morgana Magic asked. "Number Y only learned about the royal crown today. If I had known earlier, I would have already spoken to Samurai the sorcerer's spirit, entered the realms, destroyed them, and retrieved the royal crown by now," Emperor Adrian Blackwood replied. "How did you find out about the royal crown today? And when exactly did it fall into the mysterious well that keeps appearing and disappearing?" Queen Morgana Magic asked. "The royal crown fell into the mysterious well 6 months ago. Since then, Kalut Jinn has sent his clan's Jinn all over the world to search for the well. These Jinn have been wandering far and wide, looking for it. Last night, when I could not sleep, I went to the magical mirror in the dungeon to ask when the day would come when I would finally conquer the army of Lord Amir Hamza. That will be a day of celebration for me. But instead, the magical mirror revealed this entire truth to me," Emperor Adrian Blackwood explained. "Oh, then why don't you ask the magical mirror where the mysterious well will appear next, and how you can retrieve the royal crown from its realms?" Queen Morgana Magic suggested. "I did ask, but the magical mirror told me to consult Samurai the sorcerer's spirit for guidance. Now I am contemplating how to approach him. The well's realms still hold his ancient treasure, and his spirit would never want anyone to enter them and discover those treasures. If I ask him and he refuses—" Emperor Adrian Blackwood hesitated. "Oh, so you are worried that Samurai the sorcerer might deny you access to the realms?" Queen Morgana Magic asked. Yes. If that happens, my dream of obtaining the royal crown, becoming the leader of Kalut Jinn's clan, enslaving them, and using them to defeat Lord Amir Hamza and his army will remain unfulfilled, Emperor Adrian Blackwood admitted. You should at least try speaking to Samurai, the sorcerer's spirit. You are not seeking his treasures. You only want the royal crown that fell inside by accident. What interest could his spirit possibly have in that crown? Maybe he will tell you when and where the mysterious well will appear next, and how you can enter it. It is even possible that the royal crown is still within the well itself, rather than in the realms. You only need to retrieve the crown. If you explain this to Samurai, the sorcerer's spirit, he might agree, and your task could become much easier. Instead of sitting here troubled and anxious, you should go and meet him at least once, Queen Morgana Magic advised. Yes, you are right. I should indeed meet the spirit of the sorcerer Samurai at least once. At worst, he might refuse, but there is also a chance that he might look into his own realms and see where the royal crown is. Perhaps he will even grant me permission to retrieve it, Emperor Adrian Blackwood said. Then you should go today, no, right now, and meet the spirit of the sorcerer Samurai. I don't know why, but I can already see that crown resting upon your head. It feels as if I myself am placing it upon you, and the moment you wear it, you will not only become the ruler of the realm of Hosh-Ruba, but also the emperor of the Jinn world. Your power will increase 1,000-fold, Queen Morgana Magic said. Hearing this, Emperor Adrian Blackwood let out a deep, triumphant laugh. May your words come true, Queen Morgana Magic. If this happens, then know that I will not only be the ruler of the realm of Hosh-Ruba and the Kalut Jinn clan, but the emperor of the entire world. And of course, you will reign alongside me as the supreme queen, he said. Then go now and meet the spirit of the sorcerer Samurai. If you wish, I can accompany you. I will personally speak on your behalf. The spirit of the sorcerer Samurai favors me as well, just as he favors you. Perhaps he will not refuse me, Queen Morgana Magic offered. Yes, that is a good idea. The spirit of the sorcerer Samurai might refuse me, but he considers you his daughter and has never denied you anything. I am certain that if you speak instead of me, he will agree, Emperor Adrian Blackwood said with excitement. All right then. I will speak to the spirit of the sorcerer Samurai. Come with me, Queen Morgana Magic said as she rose to her feet. Seeing her stand, Emperor Adrian Blackwood also stood up. Queen Morgana Magic stepped forward and took Emperor Adrian Blackwood's hand. We wish to go to the temple of the spirit of the sorcerer Samurai, Emperor Adrian Blackwood declared. At that very moment, a bright light flashed, and the two of them vanished from the royal chamber.